we'd like to begin, as is customary, with the observance of a moment of silence. Thank you. Now please rise for the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have we been alerted by David?
This is August 15th of this, picked up from the
Whoops.
Oh. Yeah, but no, he's always on though. Yeah, he's always on there. He is in Vermont. I'm sorry. He just emailed me this morning. Thank you for
Gonna call
asking.
in or anything?
No, he's not calling in.
All right. Well, then we'll proceed with the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comment or question or additions or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So ordered. On to the treasurer's report.
Okay,
This
good
is
morning. Good morning. We had receipts on September 13th and September 14th of $1,091,660.25. So that brought us to a total cash of $2,095,145.17. Our expenditures this week were $1,871,120.74. Our undistributed tax claim is $56,298.30. Leaves us a balance of $167,726.13.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you, Sal.
Thanks,
Good morning.
Morning.
It's all yours.
Michelle Idris, Director of Human Resources. Leanne Shank, Human Resource Assistant. Reviewing of personnel transactions under resignations and terminations. Bridget Johnson, Developmental Assistant, termination effective September 6th, last working day being August 31st. Noah Mills, Full-Time Correctional Officer, resignation effective September 24th. Bradley Shanneman, Telecommunicator, resignation effective September 26th. Sharon Cisco, Aging Case 82, resignation effective September 6th. Thomas Taylor, Full-Time Correctional Officer, resignation effective September 2nd, with the last working day being August 20th. Barry Stevens, Full-Time Deputy Sheriff, retirement effective September 10th, with the last working day being September 9th. And Christine Mundis, General Clerk C, resignation effective September 12th.
Make a motion to accept the resignations and terminations as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Under FMLAs and leaves of absence, this is a return, so no motion is necessary, but Christina Torres from the prison, 6 to 8 week leave, unpaid leave of absence, returning September 4th. Under changes of status, transfers, and promotions, I have a motion to approve President Judge Towalk and Sally Berry's request for Brenda Silver, Assistant Fiscal Supervisor at Probation Services, to work an additional 2.5 hours per week, not to exceed 40 hours, effective September 19th through November 4th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second on the request by Judge Towalk and Sally Berry. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So moved.
Under other transactions, I have a motion to accept Kevin Schrum, MHIDEI Administrator's recommendation to eliminate the Intellectual Disabilities Case Management Unit positions effective October 7, 2016.
Make a motion to accept Kevin Schrum's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any questions, Mr. Latimer?
Yes. What does that mean for the EI program? If you're getting rid of the case manager?
Well, Kevin was in several weeks ago about the closure of that unit. Do you remember that? that discussion when he was here, and they voted to.
Have the
That's what
state,
that-
They have all been hired by the two providers that we have
Oh,
otherwise.
yes.
Which,
Right,
so
right,
this is
right.
this is the conclusion of that, I guess.
The sheriff would like to hire Richard M. Boyer as a part-time door monitor at the rate of $10.13 per hour effective September 26th. President Judge Towak would like to hire Alyssa Kusta as a DJ clerk at the rate of $762.36 biweekly effective September 19th. MHIDEI would like to hire Justin M. Steer as a caseworker 1 at the rate of $1,144.77 biweekly effective September 19th. MHIDEI would like to hire Chad Wolford as a caseworker 2 ICM at the rate of $1,322.92 biweekly effective September 19th. And the following 5 hires are full-time correctional officers at the prison at the rate of $13.71 per hour, all effective September 19th, and that is Edward J. Barchhouse, Christian Bolges, Benton Hodge, Aham Nassar, Brianna Fisher. The following 3 hires are casual part-time correctional officers at the rate of $12 per hour, all effective September 19th, Lauren Ebright, Tina Mark, and Jose Colon. And the Renova Center would like to hire Virginia Pula as a part-time developmental assistant on second shift at the rate of $11.56 per hour with a 45-cent shift differential effective September 26th.
So moved.
Second?
we have a motion and a second to approve those hirings. Any questions? All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Moving on to salary board, if there are no questions regarding the transactions presented, is there a motion to adopt these transactions onto the salary board?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
Their mandated conference seminars, Kathy Burke from the DA's office would like to attend the Trauma and Post-Traumatic Growth in Harrisburg, October 6th. $25 total registration fee, mileage and meals reimbursement, 6 credits mandated by PCCD. Sally Crespo from EMA would like to have the training of communications officer training. It's an online course from September 28th through November 1st. $439 total registration fee, 24 credits mandated by PEMA. Deborah Zeckman from probation would like to attend the DUI annual conference in Lancaster, October 26th, 27th, and 28th. $325 total registration fee, no other costs, mandated by DUI Association. Kathy Melbourne from probation services would like to attend the CPCNS new user physical training in Mechanicsburg, October 4th, 5th, and 6th. Mileage reimbursement, 18 credits mandated by PVPP. Daniel Seaman from the assessment office would like to attend the AAP Fall Conference in State College, November 3rd and 4th, $285 total registration fee with lodging, mileage, meals, parking, and tolls reimbursement, 10 credits mandated by the Department of State. Heather Kaufman from MHIDEI would like to attend the EI Fall Leadership Conference in Pocono Manor, November 2nd and 3rd, lodging, mileage, and meals reimbursement, 10 credits mandated by Oakdale. Maria Amato Hernandez, Mark Hare, and Tori Garber from Children and Youth would like to attend the basic CAPS training for Central Region in Mechanicsburg, September 19th, mileage, meals, tolls reimbursement, 5 credits mandated by DHS. Samantha Chesney and Susan Wright from Probation Services would like to attend the Safely Enter and Clear a Building in Allentown, October 24th, meals reimbursement, 7 credits mandated by PVPP. Jamie Rakowski Gerhardt from Probation Services would like to attend the Officer Safety and Survival Training in Reading, November 15th, meals reimbursement, 6 credits mandated by PVPP. President Judge John Tilwalk, Brian Diedrich, Mac Rise, Caitlin Stiles, Susan Wright, Travis Smart, and Margaret McDonough from DA's office and DUI court would like to attend the PA Association of Drug Court Professionals Annual Conference in State College, November 16th, 17th, and 18th. $1,225 total registration fee with lodging, mileage, and meals reimbursement, mandated by the AOPC. Heather Kaufman from MHIDEI would like to attend the PA Early Learning Policy Fellowship in Harrisburg from October 2016 through June 2017, 2 days per month, mandated by Oakdale. Megan Bacone and Elizabeth Getch from Children and Youth would like to attend the 2016 SWAN quarterly meeting in Enola, October 13th, with mileage and meals reimbursement, 6 credits mandated by DHS. Stephanie Swisher from Children and Youth would like to attend the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and questioning youth and child welfare, Mechanicsburg, on October 14th. Mileage, meals, tolls, reimbursement, 6 credits mandated by DHS. Mark Hare from Children and Youth would like to attend the childhood mental health issues and introduction to child welfare professionals in Mechanicsburg, October 13th and 14th. Mileage, meals, tolls, reimbursement, 12 credits mandated by DHS. Robert Southerly from Children and Youth would like to attend the mental health recovery, including wellness recovery action planning in Lebanon, October 20th and 21st. Mileage reimbursement, 14 credits mandated by DHS. Daniel Seaman, Ted Conley, Carl Stump, Mike Keener, Carrie Wensler, and Tanya Kemp from the Assessment Office would like to attend the South Central Chapter AAP meeting in Gettysburg, September 9th. Mileage, meals, parking, tolls, reimbursement, 3 credits mandated by DHS. Department of State.
Make a motion that we approve attendance at the required conferences.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? If not, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. Good job, thank you.
So we're pretty far ahead of schedule, but it's okay, we can bring my phone. It's, board.
This is an election board action, so I'll declare the election board in session.
Good morning. Michael Anderson, Director of Voter Registration. Did want to, the reason I'm here today is for approval for the absentee ballot. In the memo that I did send you, in that memo I had stated that we did not yet have certification from the state. That did come yesterday, and that was part of the packet I just handed out to you. So the candidates have been certified, and the ballot question at this point also has been certified. There are a couple pending legal cases about the ballot question and a certain candidate trying to run for president. In my opinion, I don't believe those challenges will make any changes to our ballot. But they're out there, and there's no real end date on those yet. The ballot question basically was sent back as there was no real decision made, so it went back to the last Superior Court decision, which was that it stays as written. They've asked for that to be reconsidered. That's where that stands at this point. And the candidate went through federal court, and that was remanded back to state, so he would have to then petition through the Commonwealth Court to have that, to look at that. But at this point, with what the election code says, I don't believe there'll be any changes as how we have it at this point.
Any questions?
I gave you copies of the 5 different ballots, the different offices that are running.
Can we just act on those collectively?
Yes.
Your authority is goes on and on. John, you have a question?
I just wanted a reminding on the dates for applying for the absentee ballots and submitting.
Sure. Absentee ballots, the applications we're accepting now, you can request a civilian absentee ballot up until November 1st. And all absentee ballots would have to be returned to us by 5 p.m. the Friday before the election, which is November 4th. So we do, anybody that would like an absentee ballot, we just ask that they, request those applications, or they can print them off the website and send them in as well. But the sooner they get those to us, the better. And then we anticipate with all the approval process that we can start sending those ballots out the end of September, early October, to individuals that have filled out an application. And
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted, the last deadline, just so you know, because you specifically asked about that, but the voter registration deadline is October 11th. So we encourage anybody that is not yet registered to vote to please do so by October 11th. Many different means to do that. The state has a website. They can do it online now. They can go to our Lebanon County website and print the application, or excuse me, the voter registration paper information off the website. They can come into our office. Many post offices have them as well. So many different ways.
Libraries, I think also.
Yes, libraries, thank you. Yes, we try to get those stocked up as much as possible. I know my people have been right now.
Also PennDOT.
Gordy, you had a question there?
Do you have any sense on how many absentees you figure are going to be requested?
Yeah, we're expecting a lot. We probably are thinking over 3,000, if not closer to maybe 5,000. It just all depends. We have had a lot of inquiries and have sent out and had a lot of people pick them up. And I think Joe Ellen, my deputy, says she's processed pretty much close to 1,000 at this point through the system. But we do expect that to really pick up as we get closer, not only to the registration deadline, but all the way up to the 1st of November.
Okay, if I could just get some clarification.
Sure.
The applications for the absentee are being taken now.
Yes.
When will the actual absentee ballot be available for them to fill out and vote?
It all depends on the approval process, but we're looking somewhere between the end of September, the last week in September, the first week in October, at the latest.
Thank you.
The board members, yes.
I was wondering if you would be prepared to explain an absentee, an emergency absentee ballot.
Okay, well, emergency ballots and absentee ballots are a little bit different. An absentee ballot would be for somebody that would not be able to vote on November 8th, so to actually physically go to the polling place. There's several different reasons why that may be. Sometimes it is because they're going to be out of town for work or for pleasure. Disability. Someone doesn't have, can't actually get to the polling place. The elderly, difficult getting to the polling place. So there's work, if they're going to be away for work or having to work or something that would prevent them from actually getting to the polling place, they can request an absentee ballot. And basically, when they do the application, they just need to mark what the reason is, and then they accept that application and send the ballot itself. An emergency ballot would be used if there would be an issue at the actual voting place the day of the election. So past experience, from what I understand, is like power goes out, and therefore the battery life on the actual voting machines would expire. So we're talking a pretty big what if, but we would have and will be printing ballots, paper ballots, that could be used in case those voting machines aren't able to function for whatever reason. And so we will have those at each of our 55 polling places, those emergency ballots. And then we'll also have rovers that will have the ability to send more if they end up using the allotted amount that we end up sending to those places.
And if there's a medical emergency, there's a process where we go through the
They would do a
judge.
provisional ballot, correct? That would be similar to the emergency ballot. Actually, the provisional and the emergency ballot are the same at this point, the same type of ballot. But yes, then we would go before the judge and have those requested to be accepted.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions pertaining to the ballot? Then I'll seek a motion to approve the ballots as presented by our director.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the ballots. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ballots are approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
I have a motion to adjourn the Board of Elections. Second.
Second.
We're adjourned. Thank you. I tried. call it something plan.
What's that?
We just have to find something like a plan.
Well, or someone tell me one chair the public comment. That's a
Good
crystal
morning,
ball.
Mr. Oldtree, how are you?
Good.
Good morning, Commissioner. Jim Hulkrey, Director of Civil News Services, and I have two items for your approval this morning. The first one would be our fourth quarter submissions, invoices in the amount of $1,311,876.13 for your approval.
Seek a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the expenditures as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve the request of Jim's report for the fourth quarter invoices. Any questions regarding that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
Thank you. And the second item for approval is our budget amendment in the amount of $782,060, which reflects our over expenditures for 15-16. Once we have the budget amendment submitted to the state, then I can appeal to the state for our overmatch in state Act 138.
Need a second? I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any questions for Mr. Hultree? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks
Thank
for
you, sir.
adjusting your schedule.
Not
I
a
appreciate
problem.
that. Yes? Nicole?
That says William. Do I sign it off? Oh, they're off one. Okay, I understand.
No, that's not up for me.
Okay. Oh, you didn't sign yet. All right. There you go.
Nicole, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself and then you may proceed?
Good morning, thank you. My name is Nicole Eisenhardt from the DA's office. I'm here with two grant proposals. The first one is the VOJO grant for juvenile cases, which runs to the end of 2016. We had a personnel change at the end of July. Our juvenile advocate left and her replacement was effective on the grant August 22nd. So the first grant is to modify that personnel change. Ours changed slightly because of the gap in time, as well as the new advocate has less benefits coverage than the old advocate does, so there was a little bit more money to cover her salary and her benefits. So that is the first one.
Do you want to take them in separate motions? Seek a motion for the
I'll
modification.
make a motion to approve the modification as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? If not, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
The next grant proposal is for the calendar years 2017, 2018. The grant for this one, RASA and VOJO, is combined this time. It hasn't been combined in previous times. We have received an increased allotment from prior years as well. The total for the 2 years is $231,057, which is approximately $115,000 per year. I provided a memorandum. Basically, both of these grants cover mainly salaries and benefits. There's a little bit extra in each year for required training and some supplies. For RASA, we have 3 advocates paid 15 hours per week, and we were able, with the increased funds, to add a 4th advocate
advocate for 7.5 hours the first year and 5 hours the second year. All of their benefits costs are covered for the percentages that they are funded under the grant. For the 15 hours a week, it's 43% of their hours. Their benefits are covered at that expense. And similarly for Bojo, the advocate is covered. In that case, we were able to increase her hours to 25 per week, which is 71% of the time, 71% of the benefits are covered. So because of the increased funds, we are able to cover more salary and benefits for these advocates. Hopefully it increases or is sustained in the future, but we don't know, so.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those grants for 2017 and 18. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved. Thank you for your work, and, you know, we spent a lot of time and effort on, and attention to the prison and the cost of that operation, but we really appreciate the work on behalf of the victims. We don't usually give enough attention to that, in my opinion, but you folks do.
Yeah, and it's nice that the legislature is recognizing that we need to devote services to that as well. I have the signature pages. I do need to get Ross and Bojo submitted today. I already got Dave Warner to sign on his part, so
Okay.
if you call, I'll have someone who.
You wanna wait for it? We can do it now, just make sure we get a copy. We'll get a second page. That's good. Okay. And I have several items for you. First item I have is a renewal of the management agreement between the county and the city for 710 Maple Street, which is the Area Agency on Aging office. We had, we being Carol Davies, myself, and Dave Warner, had met with the mayor and their solicitor several times to hammer some of this out. We were in need of a 3-year agreement because of some investment dollars that the Department of Aging allocated to the AAA. And it required that the life of those at least go for 3 years. So we have a 3-year agreement instead of a 1-year agreement. The cost or the terms of the rent have not changed, and those are, to remind you, that the annual rent is $100,000 per year, or $8,333 per month. And rather than a cash payment to the city for that rent, instead the county is simply responsible for all care and upkeep of the center, which is routine maintenance inside and outside of the building, cleaning, grass, landscaping, snow, leaf removal, and pretty much everything and anything that the building needs. And if the cost of those items does not reach the $8,333 per month, then this agreement provides for the remainder of the balance be set aside in a county, or in a city escrow fund for any future capital needs in that building. To date, we've only had to do that once or twice for a small amount. Pretty much the upkeep of the building eats up the amount that we're providing in lieu of. And lastly, we did gain a little bit of space over there. The senior centers of Lebanon Valley, as you know, are also a tenant to that building for the city, and there was some space there that they weren't utilizing. We asked if it would be possible if we could utilize that, and the mayor agreed, so she took care of that for the senior centers of Lebanon Valley, and would recommend your approval of this agreement.
Seek a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the lease agreement for the AAA building.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 3-year lease. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Secondly, we did receive a resignation from Tim Sheffy as labor counsel for the County of Lebanon. In his letter, he notes that it's been an honor to serve the county since 2012. He's been able to achieve some success in obtaining many good results. Thanks you for the opportunity. With that resignation, we did seek services of Peggy Morcom at Buzzkin Davis. Peggy is already doing our employment law, has some experience in labor law, and actually, as you recall, did work with Mr. Sheffy at his firm before she moved over to Buzzkin Davis. So we would recommend that we engage Mrs. Morcom for labor law as well, and it would be for the same rates that we are engaged with them for employment law. That would be $185 per hour for Attorney Morcom, $150 per hour for associate attorney time, and $75 per hour for any paralegal time.
So moved.
Second.
I don't know if you mentioned it, those are the same rates that we've been paying.
Yes.
Yeah, I was drifted a little bit.
Dozed off.
Anything, John, or
So she's your employment law?
Yeah, so if we have any sort of like non-union questions that come up on employment, whether they be, harassment investigations or handbook issues, anything like that that's non-union, not related to labor negotiations, anything like that. So now she's just gonna do the whole thing.
if you have a motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Or same sign, so moved.
I have a proclamation here for Bill Christner, who is retiring as a correctional officer at prison after 32 years. He began his career with us on September 23rd, 1984, and will be retiring on that same day of the month, September 23rd, 2016, 32 years. I ask for your approval on this proclamation, and I will try to get something set up for prison board if he can attend. I'll talk to the board about that as well.
Make a motion that we adopt the proclamation for Mr. Prisoner.
Second.
The motion is second for a proclamation of appreciation of his years of service to the county, and specifically to the prison. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
And lastly, we received a handwritten letter of resignation from Rita Groy on the Renova Center board. She's been there for a very long time, but she has noted that at her age, she just needs to give up a few of her obligations. So that will leave a vacancy on the Renova Center board if you want to accept her resignation.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Rita's resignation with regret, I may add, because she's been there longer than most of the employees over there. And I think she was maybe a teacher at Lebanon, I'm not sure. She's done a great job as a volunteer on the advisory board. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Okay, is that from here this afternoon?
I just have one thing. We did receive from PEMA the recertification of the Lebanon County Hazardous Materials Response Team. We certified for 4 years, remaining valid until July 31st of 2020. So it was a tough road to get there, but we're there, and we congratulate John and his team for and the cooperation of Gene and those folks from Pima, getting us through that difficult process. So I just want to let the folks know that that's back and recertified for 4 years. Anything else? Any questions? If not, we seek
I do have a topic, and the city, for quite a number of weeks ago, had mentioned when they were discussing, for lack of a better term, bans of walking youths or riding around town on bicycles. They had focused in on one area of an issue, and that being Monument Park, which is a county park. And one of the issues they brought up was the fact that while city parks go dusk to dawn, Monument Park is open till 11 o'clock at night.
We go actually from dawn to dusk. I mean, most of them go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a movie title. At any rate, they had said that they would be asking you for changes. Is that in the offing anytime soon?
Yeah, I received a call from the chief about that, and that's been an issue, I guess, that they've been dealing with. And to several, surprise to several, it is 11 o'clock. I think that many years, many of the officers operated under the assumption that it was dusk. And when they went to apply that rule, some of the miscreants at work, word uses a lot, miscreants, pointed out that it's open till 11, and so the chief called me and said, is there any way we can change that? So I have drafted something, it has to be done by ordinance, so I did draft that, and I'm waiting for the chief to give me some feedback on that, in case there's anything else in the ordinance that he would like to see changed to be in compliance with, or to be similar to all other city parks, so yeah, but it has to be done by ordinance. So I'll get that advertised. I'll bring it to their correction.
I'm assuming that no one remembers why it was set at 11 o'clock.
Why it's even a county park.
Because we own it, John.
It was
Well,
Mrs. Brock, that was very instrumental in raising money to create the park and the monument and everything. And so it was part of the Coleman family, and it honored the Civil War, and I think it's the 93rd Regiment, if I remember the number correctly. And so we have been the guardians of that ever since the Colemans established it. And it's in memory of a lot of our officers who served.
I don't know the history on 11 o'clock, except to assume that that was in a day when you could do that. You could have it open till 11, so.
Speaking of the city, the police monitor that, but also as far as the litter issue, I'm not sure the exact name, street sweeps, those folks, they mobilize. If you say, hey, we have a problem over here, they did a great job. They're all volunteers, and the young man just had an opening on 8th Street, George, graduate of Lebanon High, and they're really trying to do some good things as a volunteer community guy. So that was great to have that kind of activity supporting the city as well.
And that was an issue recently too. There was, for some reason, one weekend that there was just trash scattered everywhere in the park. We hadn't really had that happen before, but it was just a real, the park was a mess, so we had that cleaned up as soon as we could. But, sometimes you don't know about these things on the weekend until Monday, and then, I don't know what that was all about. That may have been related to what the city was talking about.
I guess in greater scheme of things, as you know, toward budget season and everything like that, it might be somewhat of a trifle. But do you have a target period of time which you would enact that ordinance?
Well, I'm hoping we do it before the time change. I mean, I'll see what the chief has in terms of changes, but it's not a real difficult
But the
move.
biggest
Just advertise it for 7 days, and then the commissioners take action at their next meeting.
Jack?
biggest problem in that neighborhood, and that is my neighborhood, it is my voting district, all of that, isn't really what's in the park, is closing down time in there, is it is the hooligans that are using their bicycles as assault weapons on pedestrians walking on the street. The police will not touch them. I've a couple times asked, why why can that kid ride that bicycle that way? Well, we don't have, that's not our job. And I said, then whose is it? And he didn't have an answer for me. But it really seems like the kids can do anything they want, and the police have blind eyes. And there are some of the officers are good friends of mine, I like them a lot, but somewhere, and it has to be talked down, that none of them will touch the kids when they are riding 3 and 4 abreast, riding right at people and yelling, get out of my way. I've got the right of way. And I don't think right of way is really the issue. When you're using a wheeled vehicle to be an assault weapon, you really should be, they go the wrong way on one-way streets, they ride across the crosswalks without regard to whether it's pedestrian activated or a red light, or they know that Lebanon City will not enforce the laws, and so they don't obey them.
Thank you. Anything else? Jamie, anything else? Board members?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Stand adjourned, thank you.